Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Television, Radio, and Podcast Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. Now, you can listen or watch anytime you want. You can find us on all the social media sites. You're looking at Rumble, you're looking at Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Check it out anytime you want to. It's your convenience. That's why we do this. You can find us on television, syndicated on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. Television again up in North Alabama. You can find us there, Channel 182 on Charter Communications, the biggest radio station in South Carolina. And they are a country station, proud to be part of them as well, WZLA, big country. And also with yourNews.com, you can find us there as well. Author Donna's Edge is how you can find us there. Speaking of which, I have Sam Anthony with me right now. And Sam, I'm so glad we're friends. We say so many things alike. I mean, I'm sure we're going to have some differences because we're human beings. But what I'm saying is, I love your platform. I get a voice.
Thank you, Donna. Good to be here. And yes, you do get a voice. And we have all kinds of voices on this platform right now. So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So very excited about that. And the cool part is, it's, I saw your stuff with Home and Garden. I have a gentleman out of Naples that does that's all he writes about is wine. That's it.
Oh.
So go to the National Food and Wine section. I mean, this is what he does for a living. And so he's like, he does it on Substack. He goes, why wouldn't everybody do this? I go, well, because they don't know about it. I'm in the process of telling everybody. So, yeah, so very broad, very hyper-focused, and we're just glad that you're on our platform.
Well, I'm tickled that you actually called me and asked me to be part of it. Absolutely. So let's talk about the reasons. I mean, I can't think of a reason not to be on this platform. It's really easy to use. It's easy, and you can do it different ways. If you want to write an article, if you want to do a video, let's talk about that. We've got some newbies out there.
Well, so first of all, everybody knows, mainstream media is dying. It's going away. It's all moving to creator-based platforms with monetization. Mm-hmm. It's, YouTube type model, X, Rumble, that kind of stuff. Even the audio platforms all have monetization. So this is where it's all moving. The only void that hasn't been filled is local news. And so for voices, if you go to our website and you mouse over, let's say, national news or local news, you'll see all the different topics: sports, business, politics, entertainment, world, U.S., faith, travel, home and garden, food and wine, science and technology. There's probably 30 of them, right? So, whatever your passion is, if it's fashion or if it's home and garden, which could be the gardening stuff, or if it's, if you're a wine connoisseur and love to write about wine, I mean, we have all those different verticals. And the beauty of what we do is the ability to be able to drill down to a specific city or a specific market. So we publish content based on geographical relevance. So I always use the thing, somebody's Little League game is not national news, it's sports news for that city. The high school football game is sports news for the market. The Monday Night Football game is national news. So we're a news distribution platform with massive scale. And what we're doing is taking all the country's information, bringing it under one umbrella, and creating one uniform media, which, by the way, Donna, that's the newspaper business model. They're aggregators. That's what I am, just with scale. So.
But people are missing local, because what's happening, and we had this huge local station here in South Carolina that were bought out by somebody, by a conglomerate. And the problem is people have been missing local news, because people like local, they like regional, they also like national. But, somebody needs to report that baseball game. Somebody needs to talk about the local football game. And by the way, we're proud of football here in Abbeville, South Carolina.
I'm sure.
We are proud.
I'm sure you are. I mean, it's a big deal, right? Everybody's kids play football, right? Or they're attached somewhere. So yeah, that's the void we fill, is the local part, right? So everybody wants to be the Monday Night Football, not quarterback, but reporter, and they want to be the ESPN person. But there's 100,000 of those people or more. If you're in business, the best thing you could do is fill a void. If there's a demand, if you could fill that demand, the money will come to you. And the demand is not the national, it's the local. Doesn't matter. It's the high school football game, right? So what ends up happening is, as reporters come on my platform, like, and let's say it's you, Donna, and you started covering the high school sports, within a year or two, you're going to have thousands of people following you because they're connected, because they want to know what happened at the game, and you're filling the void. Well, if somebody else comes in and starts writing the same stuff, there's no demand. You've already got it filled. And so, yes, you're correct. It's the local stuff that makes a difference, and that's what makes us unique, because I'm like the local newspaper in every city in America with USA Today wrapped around.
But I'll tell you something that's really interesting, though. We hear so much bad news. And it's not necessarily here now. We're just hearing bad news, and you would think every single city and town in the U.S. has bad news based on hearing from Washington, the big cities, Chicago, New York, what have you. But we don't have it. We would like our little world, because I'm telling you, peace around the world starts in your own community. It starts in your own back door. So if we can hear more good things, you got to hear everything. Got to hear some bad and good. But if we can hear the things that are going on in our local community, I think it's going to keep us safer.
Local events, local entertainment stuff. I mean, I have one of the biggest markets I have going right now is Houston. And if you'd asked me that 3 months ago, I think it was one of the worst. And all of a sudden, Houston, I've got everything going on. It's just all about the creators and bringing the content in. And, most of the stuff we do is not political. I mean, you have Sarah on here. I mean, explain how NASCAR is political. It's not. So it's all.
But I'm going to talk about her for a minute. I'm going to give her some time here. Okay, I am amazed, and you saw the show. She was on my show last week. The things she knows. That, I mean, it's, because I was asking questions, and we never rehearse questions. We just throw them out there. And she didn't have to think about it. I mean, there came the answers, and she knew all these little that the regular, typical person like me wondered about, like changing tires. I mean, how fast is that?
I don't know how she knows it. And some of the questions you asked, I would think the drivers would be the ones to know. But man, she spit that answer out like she's already had conversations with them, and she actually knew the answer. I'm like, how does she even know that?
She has, because she has built so. And this, you guys got to have to listen to her, okay? She really knows NASCAR, but it's a reputation she has built on her own to the drivers. The drivers welcome her. She's part of the NASCAR family.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could get into a NASCAR event. That she must be pretty special. So I'm pretty amazed that she's actually on my platform.
I'm glad she is.
I think we're blessed, right? I mean,
I thought about another platform too. I love antiques. My parents had a huge store, and it was all like really, really nice things. I would like to see somebody who has a platform of antiques come on and have their own.
Wouldn't that be eBay?
Well, it's historical. You could find out why something is valued at what it is. Maybe they could do some kind of a roadshow kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, there was a show that did that. Remember, people would they'd bring in an item, and they'd say, I found this. My great grandmother had this, and they would tell you if it was fake or real, where it came from. I would suspect that all had to be rehearsed. Like they saw the item and looked it up, so they knew what the hell they were talking about before.
Well, now you have apps for that. So if somebody wanted to have their own show, it would be better than that, because now there's and I've got it. There's an antiques app. All you've got to do is load that up and take a picture of whatever the item is, and it gives you a variable at what that item is worth, when it was made, the history of where it came from, that kind of thing. You would be amazed at jewelry that your grandmother. Okay. So what my sister and brother thought was junk, I inherited some really good jewelry. They thought it was just old junky costume stuff. It's valuable. It's really nice. So I'm sure there are a lot of people who have inherited jewelry from their grandmothers, and their grandmothers got older and just kind of forgot about it and just threw it in a jewelry box somewhere. You would be amazed at what you can find.
No, I can imagine, but I would have never guessed they had an app that could actually tell you what the value of
Yeah,
something is. But how do
it's
they
the
do that? How
antiques.
is it accurate? How do they know if it's in good shape or not in good shape? I mean, there's so many variables to antiques, right?
Well,
And
it
what
gives
if
you a
it's a
low end and a
knockoff?
high end. You get a low end and a high end.
What if it's a knockoff? How does it know?
I don't know.
You need to find.
And there
You're
are
a
ways you can
journalist.
do that because in crafts, I can take something that's new and kind of rough it up just a little bit, put a few little dents on it, and just get paint and put on it. Like maybe look at bronzy looking. You can make something look like that. But I was raised in the business, so I can look at something and tell you whether it's fake or not. But I'm just telling for the average everyday person, if you do antiques, you've got to get in contact with Sam. You have to because I'm telling you, this is a career move for you.
What am I going to do with the antiques? You mean if they write about antiques?
Yeah, if they write
Well,
about antiques.
I think that would be home and garden,
Hmm.
right? I mean, absolutely. I mean, we could do that. We could handle that kind of content. Yeah. I mean, and the antique stuff's probably going to be a lot of local stuff, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, we could do it.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of antique dealers here. By the way, living in Abbeville, South Carolina, I've uncovered so much. Did you know that Abbeville was actually the Confederates started here and it ended here?
No, I did
The
not.
war, yeah, started in Abbeville and ended in Abbeville.
Was that somebody's actual plan, or is that just how it worked?
It's just how it worked. A group of folks got together and that's how it started. General Lee went right through here. As a matter of fact, there was a General Calhoun, and he's pretty well known in these parts. As a matter of fact, there's a Calhoun Falls, and
Mhm.
when we moved here, I'm just telling you, when I would mention because I love water, North Alabama, there's waterfalls everywhere. So every time I would mention to someone in the area, I can't wait to go to Calhoun Falls. I can't wait to get under the waterfall. People would kind of chuckle and then move on. So I went to the Chamber of Commerce, and so the lady at the Chamber of Commerce, I mentioned that to her. I said, I've got my fishing gear ready. I'm ready to go to Calhoun Falls. And she chuckled and she said, have you been mentioning this around town? And I said, well, yeah, Calhoun Falls. I see the sign, Calhoun Falls. And she said, it's not a waterfall. And I said, what do you mean? She said, General Calhoun fell off his horse. So they called it Calhoun Falls. I felt so stupid.
I
But
was
there's
just going to ask you, there's waterfalls in South Carolina? Okay, so you just answered the question.
That was it. Now, just up the street, up the road just a little bit, there is Greenwood, South Carolina. And there are some waterfalls there, very small, a little more like spouts. But anyway, there are some, close to the water. But yeah, I felt kind of funny. So if you're a newcomer and you would like to know more about your town, this is a great opportunity for you. First of all, and you could be a reporter, and you can go around and report all the neat stuff in your new town. There's no better way.
Well, it certainly gets you in touch with the community, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Look, I mean, that's what we need. We're a citizen-powered press, Donna. So, I'm looking to bring on literally 1 million journalists over across the United States. I mean, that's only 50 people a city. I don't know how big Calhoun. How big's your city? What is it called?
Um, Calhoun Falls,
That's
but
where
I'm
you
in,
live?
but I'm in
Abbeville.
Abbeville.
Is Abbeville big?
No, so this is
No,
the perfect opportunity. I would think the smaller the town, the better. It started in
probably.
football.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
We've got to go into a commercial break. Can you believe
okay.
this already? We'll be right back in just a few minutes, guys. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. Finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas. Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. Good afternoon, everybody. We are back. My name is Donna, and I have Sam with me right now. And Sam, is so incredible what you're putting together. Everybody has a voice, and sometimes in this melting pot of, the big news organizations, we feel like we don't have a voice. We're just this little person crying in the wilderness, but you got a way to help us.
Well, you hit that right on the head. I mean, freedom of the press was freedom for the press to tell you exactly what they wanted to let you know, right? And they would omit stuff. But, all that stuff is changing, Donna. So it's all going to creator-based platforms. It's not a secret. Everybody knows TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, Rumble. I mean, all these different platforms with literally hundreds of millions of creators. So the same thing's happening to journalism, to local news. And, our platform allows independent journalists, we call the overall is creators, independent creators, to be able to do anything from, write about food and wine to home and garden to, high school sports to, local hard news, whatever it is that they want to do, and investigative stuff. But it's all going to this. And what it allows is the public to interact and share in the narrative also, which basically puts the power of the press back in the hands of the people, which is really important. By the way, I'm sure you know this, but the reason the media existed is we needed a people press, right? We needed the media to be on the side of the people somehow. And, I know this was all, I think, in the Clinton days when they decentralized it and they allowed all these companies to come in and buy up all the media companies. Mm-hmm. You have 6 institutions that are now all controlling the narrative. And if you ever notice, people are reading off a teleprompter. So even if you don't believe in what you're saying, you either read it or they replace you and put somebody else there. So can you imagine reading something off a teleprompter? You're thinking to yourself, I can't believe I'm reading this crap.
Your face doesn't lie. Couldn't you see me working for a big one? Okay. And it's just, and I would be going, are you kidding me? Take me off. This is nowhere near the truth.
Well,
I couldn't do that.
Some people quit. Some people quit. I mean, I was talking to a woman yesterday, and she said she was in big media, big newsrooms, and she says, I couldn't take it anymore. They were lying through their teeth. They had narratives. They were pushing agendas. If they found out something and it didn't fit, they threw it away so you didn't know about it. You know, I mean, look, we had this conversation off air with, Trump having his conversation, and I tuned in to watch it and didn't know I was on MS Now, and they actually aired it for 10 minutes or so, but they cut it to let the audience know that he's lying and has no facts to back his claims that there was election fraud. But nobody went to whitehouse.gov to go see, what he was saying. Here's the actual real proof, the evidence. They just said it. They just completely discounted what he said. So it's a shame that this has come to it. There's really no independent reporting. It's in journalism anymore when it comes to network television. It's really just a narrative that's being pushed, and they're trying to control their audience for as long as they can stand getting dealt lies. I mean, they're pushing an agenda that basically those people want to hear.
But you know something? The rest of us don't want to be led around by the nose. I think everybody should be the Paul Revere in their neighborhood.
Yeah, but there's some people that just don't like Trump, so they want to believe it. And they've been watching CNN or MSNBC for years, and they just believe in them because they've been watching for that long. My neighbors don't ever get on the internet. They don't even know what Rumble is. Independent journalism is something they have no idea. They don't. And they just don't like Trump. So what they're hearing from the station they've been watching for 60 years, they believe. And what are you going to do? I mean, there's nothing you can do except just wait until, all these networks collapse, which I'm going to be an intricate piece of that. Make no mistake about it. What I do will become the next mainstream media. So it's not because of me. It's because the younger generation goes, Fox, what? They don't know what it is. They don't watch.
No, most young people, I mean, there are a lot of young people who don't even listen to CNN.
Pretty much most of them. Donna, did you see the numbers? 2 years ago, the average age between 25 to 54, 25 to 54, which is like for advertising purposes that reach that audience. Total viewership on network television on ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox was a total of 500,000 people over 3 months total, not a day. It was 500,000. Those were the actual numbers. Look it up. Megyn Kelly even must have heard me say it because 3 months later she starts saying, "Oh my God, can you believe it?" It was horrible. So the younger generation is consuming information in a different way. You ever heard of TikTok? Okay, there you go. And by the way, there's journalists on TikTok. There's journalists. They're all independent. They don't work for a network television station, but they're reporting news. That's where everybody's getting their stuff. TikTok, Instagram.
And more people are watching them than the media, the legacy media types.
Let me say it again. Everything is moving to creator-based platforms.
Another reason why? Convenience. Purity out old convenience. I can go to yourNews and look at it anytime I want to. I don't have to wait until 6 o'clock.
People find people they resonate with that they trust, okay? And so if you like somebody on any platform, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you're going to follow that person. So at your convenience, not at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock when Sean Hannity comes on. And if I miss it, I miss it, right? At your convenience, you go hit play and you listen to what he has to say. And it could be from yesterday or the week before. It doesn't matter. That's where it's not heading there. We're there. We're there. Okay. And the networks are on life support and they're not getting any NGO money anymore. So, this is stage 4 cancer. They're dead. It's over. It'll be gone soon. I don't give it more than 3 or 4 years.
I don't either. It's just not working out for them. But again, word is getting out. We want a voice, and we want to be able to hear what we want to hear. I used to be a huge supporter of Fox News. I'm not with them anymore, and I'll have to tell you what really sent me off is 4th of July. So they had this deranged mayor of New York on there, and he's spending way too much time. They give him a platform. I know everybody needs to hear from him, but I'm just telling you, we don't want to hear that nonsense. It's just, he's destroying the entire city of New York. It's being destroyed day by day.
It's to me, I think it's inevitable. I think it has to happen. Not that I want it to happen. I think that you have to give people what they want. And then once it all crashes and burn, I'm sure they're all going to point fingers at Trump or whatever. It's his fault. The whole key to this whole thing is if New York crashes and burns, they should never get federal money from me or you to be able to support their bad policy. If you want your place to crash and burn, they should wall it off so none of the people can get out. This is your home. This is what you built. Congratulations. You live here forever. You can't leave and go vote in another state because nobody wants you. It's what is that movie called? Escape from New York?
Oh. Yeah, I want to say I loved going to New York in the 80s, in the 90s. Well, I loved it. Now I don't. I avoid it.
I don't blame you. Yeah, this is, remember, the people who built something have a vested interest. These are people who built nothing who are interested in getting something for free, and they're jealous about people who can't. That's all it is. So you have the people who can make things happen and you have the people who can't, and the people who can't blame the people who can, and they want their stuff. And then you have the politicians that say we need to level the playing fields and make it all equal. But we all know, Donna, that it isn't all equal. I mean, I would like to play professional ice hockey, but I wasn't good enough. I'm sure there's other people that would have liked to play any professional sport, but there's some people that are just better than others. And it's just the way it is. Unless we're talking politics, they have the most incompetent people on planet Earth in politics.
Oh, okay? Absolutely.
Matter of fact, if you're qualified, you don't even get in.
We're watching Lindsey Graham passed away, our senator here, and his sister now is taking over the role. And we know a lot of folks like her, a lot of folks don't like her. So I don't know, we're just kind of playing it out just to see what happens. I don't know.
Well, I think we should start calling Congress hospice. Because the only way you get rid of these people is if they die, right?
That's true.
Okay, I mean, so we're, he's one of our hospice men. That's what we got to call him now, instead of.
It's there forever. I mean, forever.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say one more thing. I just Warren Buffett said it the other day. I've been saying, cut the money off so they can't give away any money, but he made it better. He just said, if you don't pass a law, if you don't balance the budget, you can never get reelected to any government office in your life again. And watch what happens. They'll never spend more than they take in.
I promise you that.
Oh, well, then spend it. You're gone. You're never getting in. So they're termed out after one term.
There needs to be.
They wouldn't even pass that law down.
No, they never would. Like fair tax. I don't know if you've looked at that. Fair tax that could be a way to turn the whole country around, but nobody wants it because too many people are, getting all this crazy. 1 minute left in this segment. What do you want to tell the folks before you go?
Just, yournews.com is our platform. You want to be a citizen journalist. You go down to the bottom of the page, click on Be a Citizen Journalist. You could, watch a few videos and there's an application there. We're doing an equity crowdfund. We're looking for investors. At the bottom, it'll say invest. You can read about what we're doing. If you like what we're doing, you could spend as little as $300 or anything in between, even more, just to buy stock in the company. We're pre-IPO. My guess is it'll take us about 36 months to bring this to a public company. We currently have a little over 6,100 news reporters, which is freaking huge.
That's incredible.
And so, as I tell people, you have to ask yourself this question: does our company fill a void? Is there a marketplace for local news? Yes. And the second thing is, am I going to get smaller or bigger in the next 3 years? And if it's bigger, how big? I'm guessing somewhere around 50,000 plus content creators. So you're talking about each content creator being worth about 10,000. So you're looking at about $500 million. 100,000 gives us $1 billion market cap. So that's how they work. I get into it in the invest button where you could actually listen to how that comes to be, but this is kind of a no-brainer. This is buying Facebook in the beginning stages.
Absolutely. Walmart. Think about the millionaires came out of Walmart. Oh my goodness. But I'm going to be doing the same thing. So guys, we're going to have to go. Thank you again, Sam, for being on the show with me. And thank you guys so much for watching. Continue sending email. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. We'll talk to you later.